I have a soft spot for children. I believe that children need to see themselves on TV when they're watching TV. I believe that a child's mind is shaped from a very young age.
To be joined by young, famous and African star Luis Munana, who has had an exciting career so far. Not only is he an entrepreneur, he's a model, co-founder of Windhoek Fashion Week, a children's show creator, television personality, and more recently, a reality star, making his young, famous and African debut in the second season of the show that airs on Netflix. Let's welcome Luis. You know, your name,
Not you two, don't start. And you forgot Razo.
But I call you Luis. That's so famous. Yeah, I forgot about the champagne. So much to talk about, ultimately. Let me first say, hey, hi, Luis. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Treza?
I'm doing good. Good to see you off screen, man.
Yeah, it's good to be off screen.
Yeah. So I have a lot of questions to ask about, young, famous and African. But let's first start off with, just getting to know Luis Munana, just for our listeners who aren't familiar yet about, where it all began for you, how you've built this career for yourself and where it all started. So just take us through your childhood, your journey, your upbringing in Rundu.
Okay, cool. So I was brought in an extremely religious home. We had Bible studies. We had... well, let's just say in a week, 4 out of 7 days, we are extremely religious. We have sessions and sessions and sessions and so forth. So, and I've always been this perfectionist. So I excelled in sports, academics, social clubs and all of that. So I was always number 1 and number 2. I was like class captain, head boy. And you know that guy, that annoying child.
That guy.
That teacher's pet. That's who I was. Because from a very young age, I felt I needed, like there was more to the world. There was more to like, I wanted to see what's out there aside from Rundu, what's out there, like what's in Africa, what's outside of Africa. So I knew in order to get there, I have to be exceptional. I have to be above cut. I have to be better than others in a sense that I need to, if it's a competition, I need to win. If there are points, I have to get the top point. If there is something, like I just have to be at the top. So I knew that from a very young age.
From a young age. No,
yes.
it does really, it shows because you've built such an amazing career for yourself. And it really is an absolute honor to see it happening, You also now recently appeared on the reality TV show. So when did you decide to venture? How did that happen?
I did not decide to venture. So I actually got a DM from one of the line producers saying that, so we're considering adding a new cast to the show, and we've searched high and low, and you seem to be a perfect fit for the show. So obviously somebody DMing you that, and it's Netflix, it's such a big show.
It's a big deal,
So I was like, no ways, this is a spam, because people like to mess around, and I ignored it actually. I just like, haha, nice try, And then eventually another message came in. I ignored it. Eventually emails started coming in, and then I started to see a thread that like these are actually legit people. When the email signatures has the company and phone numbers and stuff. So you quick Google search, you can see this person actually exists. And I was like, wow, this thing. There's a possibility that this is true. There's a possibility that they are considering me, So I was like, okay, let me just go with it. Like, to be honest, I wasn't, oh my gosh, I'm going to be on Young, Famous and African. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be on Netflix. So I was just like, let them vet. Let them just do their thing. I was very, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not going to put my heart into it because I don't want to set myself up for disappointment. But yeah, the vetting process took place like a month. Like they did a lot, like police clearance, check your socials, like
to see if
what have you been saying, do you have a criminal record, who are you really, you know what I'm saying? So that process already, I was like, you know what, whatever they find, and that's that.
And so when they cleared you, like, oh wow, I'm gonna.
Yeah, so they cleared me, and then they were like, dude, you have to film for 3 to 4 months.
Wow, so that's how long the filming
That's how long it takes. You have to film for 3 or 4 months. You have to come to South Africa, and you'll be based here for the next 3 to 4 months. Are you ready for that? I was like, I'm not ready, but this is something that I feel there's a reason why you guys found me. I mean, out of all the Namibians, you could have picked somebody
else,
out of other African countries. There are 54 countries in Africa, but you guys chose to pick someone from Namibia specifically, and you found me. There's a reason for that. So let me live in my purpose, and let me take this chance. Let me take this opportunity, and let me say yes.
Yeah,
so
you said yes.
I said yes.
And the rest is history. Yeah. Right now, you wear a lot of hats, Luis. You just launched, it's Razul, right?
Yes,
Am I saying it correctly? Yes. But you also have, you're a creator of a children's show. You're the co-founder of one of the biggest fashion week in the country.
Yeah.
But I know this question is probably going to be a little bit unfair, but I want to know which project, you know, out of everything you've been doing, which baby are you most proud of, and why?
I'm most proud of Waka Waka Mu.
Yes.
This is because I have a soft spot for children. I believe that children need to see themselves on TV when they're watching TV. I believe that a child's mind is shaped from a very young age. I believe that as a Namibian, it is our duty to also put Namibia on the map via our content, which is why Waka Waka Mu is the only Namibian show to have been licensed to air in the UK, in the US, in Canada, in the Caribbean islands. So to me, I'm extremely proud of that. Something that I had in my mind for years, and creating it and seeing it manifest, seeing it become such a thing that other kids in other parts of the world are watching. So to me, that was extremely powerful. And for a child to sit at home and watch cartoons in their own native language, aside from English. So to me, that is like, wow, this is powerful. I wish I had that growing up, like seeing a cartoon speaking Rukwangali. So to me, that's where I'm at. And one day there's definitely going to be a Disney movie with Waka characters.
Very soon.
Kids around the world are going to sing the Waka chant. I believe that.
Yes.
So,
I'm actually honored that I was a part of Waka. I remember I shot something with you guys.
You did,
Waka
and
Waka
you did a
Mu.
music video as well.
I did
You're
a music
in
video.
studio. Your song is there. It's
my
dope.
goodness.
So
It was so cool. It was so much fun. If you're just tuning in right now, we have Luis Munana in the studio. We're going to get the tea about young, famous, and African in just a hot second as well, to talk a bit more about that as well. And also to learn more about Forbes 30 under 30. He was also, listed for Forbes 30 under 30. So we'll get more on that as well. A quiz in this afternoon. And we have our very own golden boy, Luis Munana, in studio, talking about, everything that's been going on, and a lot has been going on in his life. Let's talk Forbes 30 under 30. Luis, another milestone in your life. You made it on to the Forbes 30 under 30 list. Tell us about that, and just, the experience and being a Namibian on there, and just, just achieving something so amazing.
Well, when again I got an email saying that we're considering to add you on the Forbes list,
and you also thought it was fake.
And I was like, it's you people again. So I was like, there's no ways. I mean, it's Africa, it's 30 people. Africa is such a vast continent.
It is.
So there's no ways. Like, but somehow these people find you. You are nominated, and they ask send us this information, send us your company's sheets, send us your banking details, your bank records, your bank statements and stuff, because all of that. So I did that, and then they're like, yo, congratulations. I think I was 19. I was 19 on the list out of 30. So to me, that was quite the accomplishment, because they also did projections on like, yo, guys, this guy, you need to watch this guy. This guy is going to do something. This guy is changing the landscape in Africa, like when it comes to arts and entertainment and all of that. So to me, just being named amongst other stars, or amongst other people who are on the list, was quite an honor, and being on the list also just affirmed to me that, dude, you're on the right step. You are doing well. Keep going, keep pushing. You are there. Like, just keep pushing, because if these people can see what you're doing and they're outside, that means you're doing something right. So you have to keep pursuing. You have to keep going.
Keep pushing.
Keep pushing. Because, it's Forbes Africa.
It is, though. It is.
To me, that was huge.
It is big. It's a huge, huge, huge thing. Let's talk young, famous, and African, because I have so many questions. I told you the only reason why I watched it was because of you, Luis. Like, I won't even lie, I didn't even see season 1. I just jumped into season 2 and just started because our very own is in this. Let's talk about when with the first episode, the first time you were introduced to the rest of the people, because I mean, you and Fantana, y'all were the new additions, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So you guys walked into an already, situation happening over there. Talk to me about, coming into this dynamic of all of these very successful Africans on this very reality TV show. How was that, walking in and being introduced and being a part of this? How was that? How was the experience?
To be honest, I thought I was very naive, I had this notion in my mind that, oh my gosh, here's my chance to walk into a group of affluent African superstars, and my goal was already, like, my business mind already moved to, let me befriend these people, let us collaborate and see how we'll work together, this one is a musician, I would love to dress them for a music video, I'd love to bring them to Namibia for one of my events. This one is, you know what I'm saying, like, my mind was already on, how do I collaborate with these people, how do we connect Africa?
Yes.
Yeah, little did I know that's not what they felt, or that's not what they thought. So to them it was a thing of, who is this person coming into our space? Who is this person coming into an already established little group? Like, why are they bringing in another person and so forth? So it got real very fast. It got real very fast.
No, I saw that.
Yeah.
And even when was it what's the name? The lady that brought you in,
Kanye
Bao. Yes, when she brought you in and said, hey, you have to introduce yourself, to the team, and then something I think it was Zari and Dile, something was happening there, and then they forgot about you. You were supposed to. It was a whole thing. But I think the most important, the highlight for me, and I went like, oof, was when Bonang came for you. Like, also another question before we get to that. How much of everything that was filmed is scripted? Let me ask you that.
None of it is scripted.
Okay.
So what happens is the producers say to you, so tomorrow we're filming and you're filming with Swanky, like for example, for that scene, Swanky's inviting you to dinner for you guys to film a scene together. That's all they tell you.
Okay.
And then the driver picks you up, takes you to the location, cameras are rolling. So when you get there, that's when things start to happen.
Okay, so nothing is scripted.
Nothing is scripted.
Okay.
So I walked into I went in there knowing that I'm having dinner with Swanky. And then when I get there, there are other people. There's
people
Zari,
are there.
there's Fontana, there's Bonang. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's going to be like a dinner situation.
It's going to be lekker,
Yeah, it's going to be lekker. So whatever happens in that scene determines now what happens in the next scene.
In the next scene,
So if I had, like for example, the producers would ask me, so you and Bonang had a little tiff. Do you want to film with her tomorrow? And then they ask her the same thing. Do you want to film with Louis tomorrow? So if she says yes and I say yes, then the scene goes on. So basically the episodes write themselves as you go along. There isn't a script to say, yeah, episode 1, so-and-so is going to do this. Episode 2, thing is going to fight with. No. It literally happens as you go. That's how real it is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that situation with Bonang. I was watching that, and I honestly... I felt so, I was like, why though? Why is she coming for you like that? Look, you explained yourself, and you explained to her what had happened and how things went wrong. I just felt like she could have been more receptive of your apology, and she wasn't. So how was after that, the altercation with her, or the little tiff you guys had? How was the relationship after that?
It was really bad because the following day, not the following day, the following week, after we had filmed, no, not even the following, immediately when we stopped filming, when she walked off, because she walked off, went into her car and she drove off, but her manager was still there. So this is the first time I'm mentioning this. Her manager came to me and said, you mentioned that there are links which prove that she was in Namibia. There are links which explains the whole rain situation.
Yes.
How because you are saying that you forgot to make her bookings because you are so preoccupied about the venue, there was rain and all of that. Show us the proof, show us the evidence.
Yeah.
Where's the evidence that she was there? So I'm like, dude, I have flight bookings. I have correspondence with her agent. I have pictures with her.
There's receipts.
In Namibia. There are hotel people there. You can call Air Namibia at the time when Namibia was there. You can call the hotel, like the booking. She was here. She was there. So then he was like, no, we need the evidence. So I was like, I'll send you the evidence. It's not a problem. But then they advised me not to engage, And then immediately during that week, the lawyer started.
No way,
For
dude.
real. She was suing me.
No,
No, she was.
lying,
I'm telling you, that's the stress I had to deal with off camera, knowing that. So I felt like I'm in somebody else's country. I'm receiving correspondence from lawyers, and I have to film, and at the same time I have to keep my head sane. So I was like, anything could happen. What if I'm filming and then there are people showing up? Like, I'm not well versed with the law, but in my mind it's like, what if police officers show up to arrest me for, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like,
yes.
I was that naive.
A little bit, you know.
Yeah, I was very like, dude, like, and there's this whole xenophobic thing. So to me, my mind was already like racing and playing. I'm like, this person could do anything because this person thinks I genuinely wronged them. When I'm not lying, I'm telling the truth. And then the letters kept coming, the correspondences, the DMs, the messages, the iMessage. I'm like, where did she get my number from? She's DMing me. Yeah, you lied about. And then I was like, Bonang, you were there. Why are you acting like you're not there? Like, you know what I'm saying? So this thing was going on back and forth. So during the 4 months, I had to come to Namibia for one day to consult with my lawyers here, just to say, like, how do I handle this? How do I? Netflix lawyers had to get involved.
Are you kidding?
So
dude, was it that deep?
It was that deep. So,
was it that deep?
So her thing was I need to retract what I said because I was lying. And
that's the condition.
Yeah, that's the condition, and because she didn't want that part to air of me lying. So, but I don't think that was the reason. I think the reason she didn't want it to air was because of the way she behaved. It was.
I think yes.
Yeah,
it
was very
it was uncalled for.
Yeah, it was
honestly.
uncalled for. So I think she realized, like, okay, the only way I can try to get Netflix not to air that part is if I silence him. You know what I'm saying? And the conditions were terrible. I should apologize on social media for lying on her during filming. So I'm like, how do I apologize on a show that hasn't aired? People will wonder, like, what is Louis talking about?
What's going on?
What's going on? People don't know the contents of the show and all of that. So I'm like, now I'll put myself in breach of contract with Netflix because I signed an NDA. I can't.
You can't speak about
it until
it's
the show
aired.
airs.
Yeah.
So it was but Netflix was, you know what? You've told your truth. We have footage and stuff. Don't worry. Just do your thing. So
but you know, I actually want us to talk a little bit more about, because there's so many other questions I still have for you, Luis Munana. But thank you for clearing that for us. I mean, there's so many other things that happened on the show. But for now, because of time, you know, we're gonna just table it for now.
Cool.
But we also want to know, you know, Luis Munana, you've done so many things. Like you said, you've really, really done really good for yourself. How do you maintain your success? How do you stay focused? And what advice would you give someone, you know, starting to climb the success ladder like you have?
99 FM had this thing called The Tribe, like a show. It was The Tribe. So for me, it's very important to have a tribe. So when I speak of a tribe, I speak of people. I could be in Rundu and someone from my tribe is in Windhoek. If I pick up the phone at 3 a.m. and say, dude, I need you, come to Rundu, they'll get in a car, drive to Rundu to support me. And it's vice versa. So for me, those people are important, extremely important, because from the beginning of my journey, I made it clear that I have an accounting degree. The conditions with my parents is just graduate at least, and you can do your media things. And you know, most us African parents, they don't understand that there's this thing called fashion entertainment. So the conditions were get the degree and then do what you want. So in doing that, obviously it's the beginning of projects. You have to invest. You don't have money. You don't have what. You need a friend's couch. You need to stay with a friend. You need your tribe. So to me, the most important thing was maintaining my tribe and having these close people that I can call on any day without them feeling like I'm a burden. Having people that are there for me regardless of what happens.
Or what you can give in return.
Yeah. So to me, that's very important. And that is one thing that has kept me sane. And I've kept my tribe. It's very difficult to get in my inner circle because these people have been with me for years.
From the get-go.
From the get-go. Christmases when everybody else is going to their families, I'm on my, like, you know what I'm saying? So they're like, dude, you can come to my house. Or are you cool staying alone? I'm like, no, it's cool. Go to your family and enjoy. You know what I'm saying? That's how close we are. So
so that's the advice, ultimately.
Yeah, have a tribe.
Yes.
Have a tribe. They're there for you through thick and thin. No matter what happens, they have your back. That's very important.
Luis Munana, before I let you go, what's next for you?
I have this thing in my mind that I'm not gonna rest until there is something in Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, until there's something in Hollywood that is authentically Namibian. So that something could come in the form of having a Waka Waka Mu #1 Disney movie. It can come of me in an acting role. It can come in me writing a successful script that turns into a movie, writing a book or whatever. But there's just that one thing that needs to take the world by storm. That needs to, like, you know, that Hollywood thing.
Yes, I
and
hear
people
you.
will be like, oh, Namibia. You know how they speak? Lupita Nyong'o is from Kenya. Charlize Theron is from South Africa. I want to be that thing. Like, oh yeah, there's this guy, Luis Munana, is from Namibia, and he's made it in Hollywood. So that is that for me is very important.
It's the focus, the next focus.
Yeah.
Luis, it's always a pleasure to have you. And like
Thank
I
you
said,
so
it's good to
much.
see you off screen. And thank you for coming to share with us. I actually had way more questions to ask about, because like I said, it's a proud moment for yourself and for the country. So maybe we can, I don't know, maybe you can talk to me outside of
No
on-airness, and then we can have a chat about that. But thank you so much again for joining us here in Game Changers.
Awesome.
That's Luis Munana in studio, having a bit of a chat about everything that's been going on with him, and a lot has been going on. If you want to listen to the interview again, you can, of course, go and check it out on the app. It will also be put up on our socials. And that was Game Changers for today.
99 FM's Game Changers was brought to you by Windhoek Lager.
Now is the perfect time to leave your mark